So if you're joining us here at the National Schools Regatta 2021, you join us for the time trial of the Championship Girls 8 now underway. 9 crews on the starting roster. If I've got my facts right, it might even be 8. But TBC on that. But Canford School, the first crew on the course through 400 metres. So well into their stride at this point, of course. Coached by the legendary Ian Dryden, formerly assistant coach at Cambridge University through the 90s when Cambridge were dominant on both the Bluebow and Goldie side. So he knows how to win. And if ever there was a year for Canford to steal onto the podium and perhaps upset some of the established order, it is definitely 2021, right for the taking in terms of an upset. Canford underway. We've also got the King's School Worcester crew number 293 underway as well, and Molesey Boat Club crew number 294 on the course. 295 will be King's School Chester B, 296 King's School Chester C, 297 will be Henley, 298 Latimer, and then closing out the pack, last but not least, Lady Eleanor Hollies, crew number 299. And at the moment, I've got 400-metre unofficial readouts for Canford, King's School Worcester, and Molesey. And at the moment, it looks like Molesey have gone through the quickest, 1 minute and 24 seconds compared to Canford in 1 minute 26 and the King's School Worcester. So not a lot to pick from between those 3 outfits in the opening 400 metres, but I will keep you updated on their progress as they make their way down the various timing marks on this Championship Girls 8 time trial. King's School Chester B now underway as well, crew number 295. Really is such a pleasure to see racing again. And as I watch this unfold, I can see boys 8s making their way up towards the start line. A sight for sore eyes, seeing some 8s out racing again. It really is. We might not be expecting the most polished or the most, finessed crews, given the fact that a lot of these athletes will, A, never have raced together, and B, spent a lot of the last year sat on an ergo instead of in a boat. But what we can expect is probably even more passion, hunger, and drive than we're used to seeing in competitive schoolboy and girl rowing due to the enforced break that we've all had to put up with. They'll be desperate to get back out there, make a name for themselves, and stamp their authority on. Just watching these crews come down towards us in the Championship Girls 8s, I can just about see the faint outline of some crews, probably at the halfway mark. Canford actually have reached the 900-metre mark in 3 minutes 22, 5 seconds ahead of King's School Worcester, who have done it in 3:27. I must stress that the miracle of modern technology allows us to almost have instantaneous readouts of the progress of these crews, but what I should stress is all of these are provisional. So please don't take this as the gospel. I'm only reading out the figures that are in front of me, but they are provisional until confirmed and verified by our timing team. But at the moment, the first 3 crews on the course, Canford 292, King's School Worcester 293, and Molesey Boat Club 294. And it's Molesey who lead the way, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, covering the first 900 metres. Canford in 3:22, King's School Worcester in 3:27.
Yes.
Good for me, Jen.
Yes.
So there we go, our first shot of racing, and that's Canford making their way down the track. They're through 1,400 metres, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. They've actually got quite a significant gap between them and King's School Worcester and Molesey. Not sure if that's an advantage for the girls from Canford. It certainly won't probably help their competitive spirit. Often if you have a crew alongside you, it pushes you on a little bit and actually increases your speed. But as I watch them come towards me, they're moving through the 1750 mark, 250 metres to go, more or less. It's about 25 or so strokes in the 8, not a long way. This is Canford getting maximum airtime here in the Championship Girls 8's time trial. I suppose it helps when you're some 500 metres ahead of everyone else. Oh, and there's been a bit of a mishap there in the Canford crew. I think there might have been a crab unsure as to exactly what happened, but I could see that they'd stopped. Not ideal for the girls. Certainly won't help their push for a good place in the A final later on. What I should stress for this championship girls 8s is all these crews will be progressing through to the A final. So not a huge amount at stake here, but a good chance to get the legs working and put down a marker. You can just see there Canford coming up towards the line, crossing safely despite the little accident they had some 100 meters further up the course. Just coming over the line there. 7 minutes 14 is the readout I have. Of those first 3 crews, Molesey absolutely leading the way at the moment, but some other crews now on the course. Both the King's Colchester units are out, B and C, and Henley Rowing Club, so far the quickest to 400 meters in 1 minute and 20 seconds. You can see here, King's School Worcester, closest to the screen there in the yellow boat, being hunted down by Molesey Boat Club. Great to see Molesey boating a club crew. Certainly more difficult for club athletes due to COVID. Schools, of course, are more approaching training and able to leverage the infrastructure they have to create pretty robust training programs for their girls and boys. Clubs not quite in such a privileged position, so fantastic to see clubs like Molesey boating 8s. But you can see here King's School Worcester coming down towards the line. 10 or so more strokes to go in this time trial of the championship girls 8s. 8 crews competing, all of whom will progress through to the A final. So as I say, not a great deal to race for, but pride, pedigree, and actually a placing in a good lane. Although the wind is not really playing too much of a part, you never know how Dorney Lake can change overnight. Coming over the line there, King's School Worcester and Molesey Boat Club. Of the 3 crews who have crossed Molesey, the fastest at the moment, 7:10 compared to Canford 7:14, and King's School Worcester a few seconds back in 7:24. So King's Chester, what I imagine to be the B crew. Well, actually, this is just listed as King's Colchester B. It's actually their Championship 8 crew. King's Colchester C crew is the second 8 crew. But you can see here the Champ crew coming up towards the line, the fastest crew on the course at this stage, covering 1,400 meters in 5:04. Next fastest was Molesey in 5:16. So good crew here, King's Colchester. Approaching the line, bit of a wobble there. Nothing too catastrophic. Just be keen to get across safe and sound. Bit of a tandem rig there in the middle of the boat. You can see their bow and stroke rowing on the same side. Just crossing the line. And unofficially taking the lead in terms of timing, 6 minutes and 53 seconds coverage of the course in comparison to Molesey, who finished in 7:10. All crews are now out and are making their way down the time trial. So the next crew to cross the line will be King's School Chester B, their second 8, followed by, I think, many people's predicted top 3, Henley, Latimer, and then the holders, Lady Eleanor Hollies. We can see here King's School Chester second 8 making their way up towards the line. Not sure if those chaps are just out for a Saturday afternoon run or if they happen to know this crew. Either way, keeping pace, keeping the support. Coming up towards the line, King's School Chester second 8. Crossing safe and sound. And I can just see appearing into my vision, and I'm sure as the camera pans around, we'll get to see Henley making their way down the course. Final few strokes for Henley looking polished and impressive as they always do. No flies on this Henley crew. Really good outfit. And fastest crew on the course at the moment. Coming up towards the line. They are a sight to behold, Henley. Always row so well, so efficiently. Final few strokes. As I say, not a great deal to be raced for here, as all these crews will progress through to the A final later this afternoon. But it's still important to lay down a marker if you are beating your rivals by a significant amount in the time trial. There is an aspect to that will lead to a bit of mental competition later on. But you can see there Henley Rowing Club just crossing the line. Upper School and Lady Eleanor Hollies. Looks to me like Lady Eleanor Hollies actually are the fastest crew out there at the moment. They've set the fastest markers to 400, to 900 and to 1400. And that's a good marker to lay down themselves. Fiercely contested this event between Lady Eleanor Hollies and Henley in 2019, and the resumption of that battle is one of the key narratives coming into this weekend. And Lady Eleanor Hollies will be glad if they can get one over in the time trial. Post a fast result. But Latimer, you can see there, very distinctive, rowing really, really well. Coming up towards the line. Penultimate crew in this time trial of the Championship Girls 8. Henley have gone into the lead in terms of the unofficial overall standings, 6 minutes 44, some 9 seconds clear of King's Chester in 6:53. Latimer coming up towards the line. Will they be able to pit Henley to temporary top spot? Doesn't look like it. I think Latimer slip into second place, 6 minutes 48 unofficially. They'll be happy with that. I think top 3 would be a fantastic result for Latimer. But the final crew to come up towards the line, the effervescent Lady Eleanor Hollies, perennial competitors in the Championship Girls 8. Can't see them on your screen, but I can assure you they are crossing the line. Safely home. Not only safely home, but safely home in provisional first place. Lady Eleanor Hollies taking the time trial win, according to the standings I have in front of me, 6 minutes and 42 seconds ahead of Henley in 6 minutes 44 and Latimer in 6 minutes 48. King's School Chester's Championship 8 girls crew in 6:53 are in 4th place. Molesey in 5th, 7:10. Canford in 6th, 7:14. King's Worcester 7:24 in 7th. And then in 8th place, the second 8 from King's School Chester in 7:26. I must stress again, these are all provisional and unofficial. So please do keep checking the National Schools Live tracker for confirmed results as and when they come through. But good to see the girls' 8s getting out there. Good to see them competing again. And Lady Eleanor Hollies, I'm sure if these results stand, will be very pleased with that result, putting 2 seconds of time between themselves and Henley Rowing Club and setting up what promises to be an intriguing battle later on in the A final of the Championship Girls.